I see what ho, chaps and chappets, Game Chap and Bertie here.
Yes.
Yes, indeed, fellows, and I dare say we have to discuss something here pertaining to Rockstar's treatment of Grand Theft Auto 5, and specifically the popular modding community for that game.
Most certainly, yes indeed, old chap. Now, as you may know out there, chaps and chapettes, GTA 5 PC came out fairly recently, and of course, with it, a lot of mods came out as well, because being the PC version, it enabled mods.
That's right, and of course I think this is something that people are looking forward to for a very long time, anticipating these mods and the release thereof, and needless to say, as soon as the game came out, the modding chaps got straight to work and started making a load of very exciting mods, and I think we've only just seen the surface of what can be done so far. But of course, now we have an interesting development from Rockstar, don't we?
Well, we certainly do, old chap. Yes, indeed we do. Now, it should be said that when the game came out, it was noted that something had been put into the game somehow by Rockstar to try to avoid modding actually going on.
That's right, and previously I believe we have had some kind of statement from Rockstar in the past explaining that they don't actually like mods, and perhaps they don't really want to support the modding community for this game, despite the success and popularity of mods with previous GTA games.
Now, that's correct. Now, despite this sort of level of some form of protection, whatever they put in,
yes,
our modders managed to overcome that and start to do different modifications and things, and which are rather fun and add a bit of a laugh and fun to the game.
That's right, we're sure you've seen some of these already on YouTube, but it seems that yesterday, the 30th of April, Rockstar have come out and said we're going to be releasing, in fact they have released, the GTA 5 PC patch 350.1.
Right, this patch is designed totally and solely to stop modding going on in GTA 5 PC.
What?
Yes, indeed. That's what they've done.
My goodness.
They obviously looked at it. They, for some reason, don't want it, and they're moving in to try to stop it. Now, the question that we have here is this a good idea, or is it something that's maybe not so good idea?
Okay.
Is it helping the community, or is it hindering them in a way?
Right, let's take a look at what they've actually done in this patch, shall we? Well, firstly, we have the usual blah blah. Vehicles in your garage can't be replaced with vehicles from the street anymore. They fixed some various issues. GTA Online characters can now be added to your shortlist, etc. and so forth. All the usual blah blah blah. But then, of course, we have a couple of, shall we say, small footnotes here. We've got various crash fixes. We've got various fixes to bring improved patch download speeds. But rather importantly, we don't have any mention of mods at all. And I think these chaps know exactly what they've done. And yet, if we go to the modding community, I can see here a news item indicating that indeed the GTA V PC patch 350.1 breaks this mod that is used to inject code into the game, or shall we say, to hook parts of the game's code to bring you crazy things like, you know, flying, etc. and so forth.
Right, hang on, can I just stop you there for a moment?
Yes.
Just for the chaps and chapettes that are listening to this. So what we're talking about, this patch that's come out with the various bullet points of what it does, actually doesn't mention stopping mods, is this correct?
That's right, they haven't said an absolute peep about it, and yet, of course, the entire modding scene might be a little of uproar at the moment, because basically the engine that was being used to drive the mods doesn't work any longer.
Right, okay, now that raises an immediate question then. Was that just a happenstance of the patch being released? In other words, something that they did just kind of broke that ability, accidentally sort of thing? Or was it actually done on purpose underneath to stop it anyway? Okay. And is the fact that they haven't mentioned it in the breakdown of what's in the patch because they don't necessarily want to come out and just upset people directly?
Yes, I think you may be close to the truth there, perhaps. Maybe Rockstar don't want to cause a lot of trouble, but nonetheless they have said, excuse me, but no, you're not modding our game. Here's a nice compulsory update for you. You have to install this, and there you go, your mods don't work anymore. Now, the technical side of things is basically that the GTA 5 patch has changed the native hashes of the game, meaning that a certain mod called Script Hook 5 no longer works, basically. You may have seen this in previous videos on our channel or on YouTube with crazy things going on like spawning in vehicles, changing your player's skin, and other nutcase madness. But of course, that's all stopped now with this latest patch. And actually, I have to say, I've been giving this thought for some time now, considering what might happen when the inevitable patch does come out. Will the mod stop working? And lo and behold, they've been knocked on the head.
It would seem so, yes indeed. Now, the thing is, I wonder why they would want to do this. Now, no doubt Rockstar have made a very good game here. GTA 5 is an extremely in-depth game, very large environment.
Well,
in-depth, yes. I mean, it's very well done. But the thing is, you see, why would they want to do this? Does it help the game, or does it perhaps not so much help it? In terms, let's look at sales, for example. I mean, does it damage sales? Will allowing mods on games damage sales? Well, I don't think so.
I think it would help sales.
Exactly. I think, if anything, it would encourage sales, because people certainly are going to want to play the game anyway. I know I would play the game through, as it were, but then afterwards, when they've played the game, they can tinker around with these other things as well, you see.
Well, of course they can. And the other thing we have to consider here, fellows, is also GTA 5 is not a new game. This is a game that came out previously on jolly PS3 and Xbox 360, for goodness sake. That was a long time ago.
Yes.
This is a game that has been thoroughly played by the community. People have enjoyed the game, played it from start to finish, and naturally, you know, the natural response is to want to play more and have more fun inside the game world, which of course is exactly what mods allow you to do. They take the game engine and they expand it in new, unique and interesting ways that arguably even Rockstar themselves couldn't do.
Well, yes, just picking up on what you said there, with regard to the GTA 5 already having come out on console, etc.
Yes.
Is there anything different on the PC version? Now they've brought it out again. Is there anything different at all in this game?
Well, I mean, if you cut a long story short, the game is basically the same as the console versions. You can go into first-person mode, sure, there's you can tweak the various PC graphical settings, etc., and so forth, but arguably, you know, if what it all boils down to is that basically you've got the same game that just looks a bit prettier. Now, I understand the game might well have been rebuilt from the ground up, and that's fine, but of course, when it comes down to it, you've got effectively the same game as what we saw a couple of years ago on the console, and that, as I said earlier, is where the mods come in to allow the community to demonstrate their creative flair and start to create some crazy things that lots of people can enjoy for this game.
Most certainly, yes indeed. So you chaps and chap-outs out there who are listening to this, what do you think? Do you think that you would like to have mods in there, or perhaps you're not really bothered about it if it's a game that you play, you play or don't play it, you could have an opinion either way. Do you think that you should have mods, or you'd like them, or perhaps they should somehow try to restrict them? You know, I think it's something, I think it would actually help sales of the game personally.
Right.
I think if someone sees a great mod that perhaps we've shown on YouTube, or someone's shown on YouTube, and think, cool, I'd like to do that, I'd like to get involved and have some fun with that, it could actually encourage them to go and buy the game.
Well, of course it would.
Not that I'm saying that the game's not any good anyway, but it would help, I think.
That's right, and of course something else that we have to say here is will Rockstar's treatment of mods in this way make other companies think twice about allowing mods in their game? You could have an entire vibrant community here completely shut down if all companies took this same approach.
Well, most certainly, yes indeed. I mean, I'm just thinking about Skyrim there, when Skyrim came out. I mean, the mods on that and the community was huge. I mean,
huge.
Just go to our channel and type in Skyrim mods, you'll see we've done some. There's loads and loads and loads of them.
And they were jolly good fun, I have to say.
They were good fun, and I think if anything, it would have helped, definitely, no doubt, would have definitely helped the sales, that's for sure.
Yes, I mean, in recent news, actually, of course, we had the fiasco with charging for paid mods on Steam, so it seems that some companies are very open to modding, like Bethesda, but other companies, like Rockstar, say an absolute no for some reason.
Well, most certainly. Now, the question is, of course, will it remain like it is with this, basically, this modding script broken, or will the chaps that do all the tinkering, these modders, whoever they are, get underneath the skin of the thing and begin to just, you know, fix it, and so they can continue doing mods?
Well, I certainly hope so, because I dare say we've been having a lot of fun with the GTA 5 mods on the channel so far, and we very much hope to see more exciting mods for the game soon, but if Rockstar are going to take this kind of stance, they could well disrupt or even shut down the community in the medium to long term, which is certainly something we hope does not happen.
Well, yes, indeed, we certainly do, because I think there's a lot of fun to be had there, and I believe, you know, looking at it perhaps from Rockstar side of things, you know, that it could actually help the sales of the game. No doubt they've got their reasons, but I think it could perhaps help the sales of the game.
I think I agree. Yes, certainly anything like modding and tinkering around, experimenting, creating fun things and crazy user-driven experiences in the game is all part of what PC games are about. After all, of course, you know, the whole idea of having the game on the PC is that you can play around and tinker with it. But perhaps Rockstar are saying, no, we want to take a console approach here. It's what we give you and nothing else. And, well, they're entitled to do that, of course, but I certainly think that mods are a good thing.
Yes, indeed. Now, perhaps, you know, looking at it from both points and putting all the ideas and possibilities on the table, perhaps they think from their side, well, you know, we don't want to see an entire another industry just growing from nowhere, taking full advantage of our game, and perhaps, you know, I don't know, you know, selling things on mod sites rights and whatever. Perhaps in similar way, perhaps we saw with Minecraft. I mean, that whole issue blew out of control to the point that Mr. Notch left the darn game, you know.
Well, yes, that was a bit of a separate issue there, of course, with the servers going on. But certainly as regards selling mods, the community historically doesn't really sell mods because, of course, you can't sell part of the game. Also, as regards the other point you raised there, I think this is certainly something that's been going on for a very long time with Grand Theft Auto. Modding has very much been a big part of the scene, and if you ask me my opinion on it, why stop a good thing now?
Well, exactly, that's a very good point. Why stop it? Will these chaps, the modders, overcome this and continue it, and then will Rockstar then try and patch again? We just don't know.
It's modding war.
Yes, it could be, but, you know, whatever. But anyway, what do you out there think about that?
Yes, do give us your opinions, fellows, there in the comments section. What do you think of Rockstar's approach to Grand Theft Auto 5 PC modding? This has only been Game Chap and Birdie bringing you the latest and perhaps quite controversial news on modding in Grand Theft Auto. Thank you most kindly for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you once more on the next exciting outing, I say. Until then!